Since this morning, I've been yawning. Situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day's full of questions. There's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. What's the latest on the caucus? Who's running for top office and why? Tell me why. Raising taxes on the masses. Who is doing it the fastest? Who lied? Tell me who lied. There's so much on my mind. It just makes me want to vent sometimes. It's so much going on. I just hope you hear this song and you do what's right. It's just not about black and white, no, no, but it's about the human rights. Yes, it is. It's just not about you and me. Can it be? But it's about who we can call. Let's call Jennie B. Call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. Yeah. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything.
Good evening. You have just tuned in to another episode of Fabric of Life. I am your host, Miss Jennie B, with my co-host, Miss Cameron K. We are welcoming you and each and every one of you into this conversation on tonight. If you would like to join the live discussion, the call-in number is 248-854-9850. Again, we are still in Women's Month, and our topic is recognizing exemplary and extraordinary women of our time. My subtopic tonight is racial and economic justice. I have an amazing guest in the studio with us tonight. Her name is Miss Ari Lane. But before we introduce her, I would like you all to watch this video that she wrote and produced that focuses on social injustice.
Oh, excuse me.
But seriously, in all seriousness, you be safe. You make sure you come home.
We're not kids no more. I'm coming home. I got you.
For real. With everything that's going on out here, what does Mom always say? You do what you got to get home safe.
I got me. There's nothing out here that's gonna stop me from coming home. Not the police, not no riots, nothing. I got me. I got you. All right?
All right.
In the meantime, you have a good day.
You too.
I love you, sis.
I love you too. Be safe.
I got you.
For real.
I got you.
I pledge allegiance to my blacks of the divided states of America, and to the melanin for which it stands, one nation, filled with gods, where liberation is justice for all. My pledge ain't to no flag, It beats in my blackness to the roots and they go way back. We be our ancestors' new growth. Here to make your comb snap. We be 4C resilient. Don't let this shrinkage fool you. This black just be an example of the bounce back. See, we be building in our communities, just trying to stay close to our roots. See, we know what happens when we stray too far. And stop telling us to relax. We ain't trying to relax. Your relaxer, I mean, your relaxation ain't ever been comfortable for us. In fact, it just damages us. In fact, you're more like a hot comb to us. You say, just conform to us. Now, ain't you pretty? Here, do a flip for me. You often feel like spritz to me the way you always expect us to freeze. Down on our knees and got the nerve to wonder why we decided to recoil. Oh yeah, this kickback is about to get real kinky, so please don't excuse me while I pledge my allegiance to all this black excellency. See, we be revolutionary, resilient, the epitome of clap back, fuck you if you ain't with us. Yeah, we said that, and we don't want no more parts in none of your magic acts, because every time you make one of us disappear, we never come back. But we got our own magic too, and it comes from our ancestors. It looks like locked arms, like we shall not be moved. Looks like damn, you're still here. Looks like hell. Yeah, looks like our ancestors reincarnated on steroids. Looks like who the fuck you calling boy? Boy, looks like if we can't breathe, then neither can you. A little less Martin, a little more Malcolm. Looks like this revolution will be televised. Looks like you can no longer hide behind your lies. Looks like we don't want your lies. So nah, we ain't gonna relax shit. Your relaxation ain't ever been comfort for us. Your one nation under God ain't ever included us. Your liberty ain't ever been free for us. Your justice always seems to only justify you, but never seems to see us, hear us, feel us. So when you see these black fists thrust, know that we are saying beyond a shadow of a doubt, fuck your pledge of allegiance. We be for us, bout us, and in us we trust. So, I pledge allegiance to my blacks of the divided states of America, and to the melanin for which it stands, one nation filled with gods, where liberation is justice for all.
All right. Did y'all enjoy that wonderful piece on social justice? I have in the studio with us on tonight Miss Ari Lane. She's a poet, she's a writer, she's a producer, filmmaker. She also has 2 clothing lines. She dope, y'all. Like,
And she's an actress too, honey.
I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished. She's dope, you all. I remember when I first met her, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's really cool, you know. And that was back in 2000 what?
I think 2018.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So I always start out with a quote. And tonight I'm going to start out with the quote that I ended with last week. And I want to get both, Ari, your comments to the quote. Okay. Cameron's already heard this quote, but I want to get your thoughts to this, because this is so perfect for who you are, because you are a person of ideas, many ideas. So the quote says, ordinary people pursue money. Simple people pursue power. Average people pursue fame. But extraordinary people pursue ideas. What are your thoughts, Ari?
Well, everything starts from an idea. Mm-hmm. So I guess in listening to that quote, I guess the notion is that that's the conscious thinker. That's the person that's always thinking and creating. So yeah, that's a very interesting quote. I guess that's my take on it, at least.
I like what you said, the conscious thinker. And that's how I see you when I listen to anything that you've written and the life that you bring to those words. Y'all, she'll make you laugh. She'll make you cry. She'll make you think. She'll make you like,
She will make you feel.
Yes.
Everything down to your shana. And it's so funny that she says about the conscious thinker part, because what do I call you, Ari? All the time I say,
thought.
Her name is Conscious Thought.
Wow.
And she has not embraced that, because I know Ari Lane is her brand, but I always say, if you ever branched out and decided that her consciousness is so dope, especially for someone of her I don't want to say age, but I'm gonna say her age. She got an old soul, honey. When I be talking to her, sometimes I be thinking I'm talking to Sister Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Because she is just her vibration is just so high. She's dope.
Now, our subtopic for tonight is racial and economic justice. So the video that she produced, to me, is perfect for that. She also has a son. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Aria. I want to get your thoughts on when we all witnessed the killing of George Floyd and having a son. What were your initial thoughts watching that, and then how the media responded, how people responded, and the Black Lives Matter movement, period? I was just downtown this past weekend with my granddaughter, and they had the march down there for Breonna Taylor. Mm-hmm. So what were your thoughts when you watched that, having a young son?
It's very... It's hard to say. On the one hand, you're almost desensitized, but on the other hand, it's almost like you kind of develop like PTSD, I feel like. And so like a lot of people associate PTSD with like, oh, this just a traumatic incident of maybe war or different things like that. But PTSD is from trauma. And I think like a lot of us, we have like this PTSD where you're afraid, like you're praying a little harder when your child leaves, or you're having conversations. I feel that young Black men, they don't really get a chance to be boys long enough. They just kind of have to grow up a little earlier. And I always wonder, like, when I look at my son and he's like all energetic and he's all this energy and it's so beautiful, and then in the back of my mind it's like, when is the world gonna rob him of this?
Okay,
that's good. That's good. And I can identify with you as well, having a son, but I don't think it's just for the boys, it's for the girls. But it is something about when you have a son, especially with the social climate. I mean, my son is a tad bit older, even though it seems like yesterday. I think the main thing is educate, and we have to have a lot of uncomfortable conversations, but we have to make those uncomfortable conversations comfortable, because we can't send our boys out here to die.
Well, see, where I struggle with that, though, is, yes, I want to educate my son, right? Mm-hmm. But I also feel like a 9-year-old shouldn't have to be concerned with how someone's going to perceive a toy gun or just him being as a person. Like, and my son's big for his age too. Yeah. So, I'm looking at it like, I understand we want to educate our children. We have to educate our children. But then in essence, it forces us to have to rob them of their innocence so young and rob them of their youth so young. And so I struggle with that because I try to find the balance between the two. But the truth of the matter is, these kids are seeing what's going on. They're not stupid. It's in their games. It's literally everywhere. I remember my niece was playing a game and Black Lives Matter was like spray painted on the building in the game that they were playing. So it's not something that we can shield them from. We just,
It's just scary that the world almost robs us all of our innocence, just with everything that's always, like you said, being thrown in our face, either with the subliminal messages. So many subliminal messages.
You know what? One thing that I've noticed now, there are even more commercials since that Black Lives Matter movement, there are more commercials out now, just parents depicting them having those conversations with their children, which we've been doing for years, for their safety.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like they're trying to get this message out there, but it's still a way of exploiting the Black community because they're still making dollars off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like that cycle, to me, is going to always continue. And so what do you do? Which is why I applaud Ari for producing her own film, her own content, to speak from a voice of our culture unapologetically. And what were you trying to say?
I was just going to say, the only thing we can do is change the narrative as much as possible and that's why I love your video as well, because it brings awareness. Because unfortunately, we do live in a world that is not just black and white. There are areas of gray. And the only way we can, that video to me, if it's shown to someone, our Caucasian counterparts, it shows the fear. Because sometimes people really feel like there is no fear. What's going on? That doesn't happen. That's not, that's not realistic, but it is our reality. And so that's why I like the way you beautifully put that together, and for you being socially responsible, because so often people produce works that are just about, you can have things about drugs and money and all that, but we have to be socially conscientious and teach in our pieces. And I think that you did that beautifully by encompassing various things in your work.
Thank you.
What do you hope to accomplish with work like this? Like, do you have a goal of continuing to produce content that speaks to social change? Tonight our subtopic is racial and economic injustice. That, the killing of George Floyd was just one example of that has been going on for years. And I feel like the African American community is now like you said, we're tired. We don't care what you think. We're going to have our voice be heard. For me, that was the first time I saw so many programmings just trying to let men know it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to be vulnerable in that state. And it doesn't mean that you are a weak man.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you are a man that doesn't care, the man that doesn't feel. Like, it was the first time I had ever heard men say, we have feelings too.
Yes.
And you are going to hear and listen to what we have to say. I'm about to cry. Dang.
Absolutely, though.
That bothered me.
You gotta, and it has to. No, it's okay.
It's okay because it's understandable.
I don't even have sons, but
it doesn't matter. You had a
you
daddy,
have a husband,
you got a brother,
you got siblings, you got cousins, and they're not. It's true, men, black men. But men in general, there's this toxic masculinity thing where they're taught that you can't cry because that's weak, and and it's so not. And one of the things that I say, like, I refuse to tell my son, oh, because you cried, you're weak or you're less than. Absolutely not. Like, because that's what happens is then we wonder why we have these people that grow up and they got all this pent up aggression and they're out here killing people and angry at the world, and because they were never taught how to deal with their emotions.
Yes. Now that's just a handcuff on
emotional health is paramount.
Emotional health is
because we have to raise these boys to be able to be in touch with their feelings, because if we don't raise these young boys who become men, they are these hurt little boys that never have a chance to process the pain or deal with it or go through therapy, and then they grow up and then you have these men who are being abusive physically and emotionally,
or they pick
women.
up habits.
Yes.
Vices to cope with whatever they're dealing with, and they don't even understand that all that they're dealing with is manifested while they're under that influence and all those different things. So it's not fair. I've always felt like it isn't fair that men don't get the freedom to be human. Like, to just be human. That means I feel like you feel. You know, it's also liken it to like how I feel sometimes about black women. Like we're held to this idea, oh, you're an angry black woman just because you were upset about something that made a lot of sense to be upset about.
Exactly.
But at the same rate, like men get that as well. Like, and they're told like, oh, how dare you cry about this? And then, you know, you're weak now. Now he's weak. So now he got to go around and hold all that in. Now when he snap on somebody or, you know, then we're like, we don't know where we went wrong.
Whew, this is heavy. But it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's heavy, but it's real. It's true, and it's in our face, and we have no choice but to deal with it, learn from it, and like you said, change the narrative. Because it's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to make the change for our children's children, you know, so they are better educated, because the school's not going to educate them on this.
Yeah.
I was with my supervisor today, and a great percentage of Detroit public schools have to go through credit recovery, you know, being in this online environment. That's been hard for a lot of people in this pandemic, just trying to do school from a computer, because you've removed them from their social environment. They have no connection anymore, and it is a form of isolation that, you know, some young people and some adults too have not been able to handle yet or even deal with.
Whew. Yeah.
That just hit some of your shanana.
A whole lot. Because it's definitely an adjustment. And I've been telling everybody, though, that the important part is that everyone is patient with everyone, right? Because there's not one person involved here, from the parents to the students to the teachers, that don't deserve empathy, because everyone's adjusting, right?
Yep.
And so we have to be patient with each other. I remember I was talking to my son's dad, and I was like, the teacher is taking this day to do, she's going to do grades this day, so they're going to work independently. He's like, well, why doesn't she have time? I said, you got to remember, some of these teachers are parents too.
Yeah.
And so they're working from home.
Yeah.
And then their kids are at home going to school.
Yes.
So we have to remain. He's like, you know what? I totally, like, I don't know why that didn't register. It just but it's easy for us to forget. These kids are being put, especially these young kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot to ask a kindergartner
To
be sitting in front of a computer all day. Like, it's a lot. So, and then for the parents, oh God, bless our hearts.
It's almost like life imitates art and art imitates life. We are in the matrix. It's like we are literally plugged in to our computers. We are literally plugged into so many different things. Like you said, the teachers go through a lot, and I in a way, I thank God for the experience, because a lot of parents took teachers for granted, because you know you send your kid to school, they deal with all their emotional, all the stuff that's going on at home, all the stuff that's going on with their kids in the classroom, and the teacher has had to deal with that for years. And now
you know, little Johnny don't listen in class.
You guys, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into The Fabric of Life with my host, Cameron Kay, and our amazing guest, Miss Ari Lane. If you want to join the live discussion, the call-in number is 248-854-9850. My Aunt Marcia says, I love it. Ideas are uniquely inspired by God, and you are linked to your dreams with your ideas. My Christine says, if mothers and fathers don't communicate with their boys and let them know the truth, if they don't, the streets will, and it won't be good, which is what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And so it goes back to one of the things my grandmother used to always say: teaching starts at home first.
Absolutely.
Parents are the first teachers. So like you said,
better
it
preach.
made the teachers the parents understand to be more empathetic to the teachers. Like you said, Johnny acting up, Johnny talking back. He not really doing his work. Why? Because he might be copying off of James, because he was playing around. And so one of the things my sister said on our show last week is give yourself some grace.
Yes.
because, like you said, we're all adjusting. We're all still going through this pandemic. And even though, the vaccine is available, some people are scared to even take the vaccine. Even with the vaccine, some people are still like, I still don't want to go to too many places because I just don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, I think the pandemic is a blessing because it has made us reevaluate our entire lives. It has made us look at what we thought was just business as usual, because it's no longer business as usual. What we thought was normal will never be the norm. This is the new normal.
Yeah.
And
the only thing that can remain the same for me was just having faith. Have faith in God. That's the one thing that really doesn't change. And with that being said, girl, I want to hear about this Motor City competition. What is the name of it again?
Yes, transition into that. Yes.
Because
y'all, she's going to give us some live spoken word tonight, so y'all got to get ready for this.
She is.
So, yes, tell us about this Motor City mic competition that you are a finalist in.
Yes, so as you all know, or may not know, Motown Museum has a Black Forum. Now, that means that they have like the Martin Luther King speeches and so they have a spoken word forum. And a lot of people don't know that, but they do. And so they've been doing a spoken word competition for, as far back as I can tell, at least the last 5 to 8 years or so. And I recently, well, no, that's not true. The truth is, I really wanted to do it last year, but the pandemic happened. I just started slamming in 2021, so 2019.
She means poetry slam. She's not literally slamming people.
Yeah. Even though they have places you can go and slash up some dishes and all that kind of stuff. It's really therapeutic. I want to try it one day.
Right. I know, right?
I don't have to throw axes. That's cool. But
I started slamming in 2019, doing poetry slams in 2019. And I found out about Motown Mike. And I was like, 2021, that was on my list of, I got to enter. And, we all know what happened with 2020. So, obviously, it didn't happen. So, this year came and, first of all, a good 7 or 8 people had, either tagged me or inboxed me, hey, are you entering? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to enter. So, I was really excited to see that they brought it back. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to do this audition. So first, okay, let me write this piece. They have a specific theme realm that they want you to kind of stay within for this particular competition. And so I was like, all right, cool. Let's delve in here. And I was like, all right, cool. So I got it. And I was like, it's too long, because with slams, a lot of people don't know that you get 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period.
Okay.
So typically your piece shouldn't exceed that.
Slam education 101, y'all.
Yeah, you lose points that way. And so I was like, it's too long. Okay. What are we going to do? I really don't want to get rid of it. As I became to memorize it, I only ended up having to cut one thing. So that was really great. And I tried to get in. So I went to record it. My computer was acting really glitchy. I went through so much to get this submission in. I went through so much. It literally came down to the wire. It wouldn't transfer to my computer from my phone. YouTube, I was upload it to YouTube and attach the link. YouTube was giving me the blues. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to give up. I almost wanted to give up, and I was like, I'm going to get this in. So I got it in, and they hit us with, I got a response maybe 12 hours later that they would announce the winners via Zoom. And to look out for a link. And so I'm like, okay, Zoom on March 12th, because the deadline was the 5th of last week. And so we get on the Zoom, and in my heart, I was just like, it would be really cruel for them to call me on this Zoom, and I didn't make it. That would be so cruel. And so we get there, and they're like, yeah, if you're on the Zoom, you are a top 5 finalist.
Top
And,
5.
Yeah.
Right. Out of how many people?
How many people?
They didn't tell us. They just said that the choice was tough, and there were a lot of great submissions. So they didn't give us a number. I don't need the number.
So you know what?
Right, you win the number. You don't need the number because you win the number.
Yes, but Detroit has so many talented people.
Absolutely.
So people, just listening to what you said, Ari, push through. Even if the deadline is right there, just keep going, do it anyway. Stop doubting yourself. Love yourself enough, dig deep. And get that confidence and push through. Because she says she pushed through in the 11th, 12th, 13th hour.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the bottom line is she pushed through. So I just encourage somebody out there to say, push through. You may think that you can't do it, but do it anyway.
I have a question. Do viewers get to vote now?
So, yes.
I want to share that information so people
So
can
make sure you follow Motown Museum on Instagram as well as myself on Instagram, because the reason being is this is going to be a little different. Typically with slams, things like that, there are judges, they judge, but this time the audience will be choosing. That will be next month. That will be April 29th next month on Motown Museum's IGTV. And you'll have 24 hours to vote. And y'all just vote for me.
I just hear the name Motown, and it's such a iconic thing. And I'm sitting here like, Ari, do you realize what you just said? You have your Motors.
It's really cool.
Motown mic.
And I have stuff that I can't say and that I'm excited about.
I'm sure.
So many things.
I'm sure.
Oh my God. But
oh my God. It's bubbling up.
Love her.
But it is a blessing. It's an absolute blessing as time goes on, and I am able to. That's why y'all gotta follow me, because as time goes on, I will be able to say more about this and more about that. But I'm really, really excited about this opportunity. I'm excited to see and hear what the other poets have done.
Says congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So talk about your clothing line.
I have it on right here.
Ancestral Drip. Now, if y'all watched the video in the beginning, go back and watch it if you didn't watch it. I actually put it in my post on my Facebook page, so the link is there. You can go back and watch the video after the show if you want to, or go back and watch the whole show because it's at the beginning. Talk about your clothing line, Ancestral Drip, and then you also have I'm Magic, which I love.
Yes. Girl, I remember I had to go to an audition and I was feeling just a little low. And I was feeling a certain type of way, like, oh God, I just didn't have any confidence. And I put on my I'm Magic t-shirt and I was like, dun, 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 dun. And I know when I probably went in that audition, they were looking at me like, what kind of shirt she got on? But I felt good. So it did what it was supposed to do.
Feel magical because you are.
I'm a unicorn.
So I started with, the first thing I came out with was I'm Magic. And that actually stemmed from, so everything, Ancestral Drip and I'm Magic are both lines from pieces that I've
I knew it was. I felt it.
Yes.
I said she probably wrote that in that poetry somewhere.
Yes, I did. And how it actually, and it's so funny. So 2020 was really awesome in that for an entertainer, if you allowed it to be, right? Mm-hmm. The virtual community on Instagram was crazy. So like it was always a virtual open mic. It was always something going on. I networked with people around the world, literally. I got to do a show with someone in Nigeria and South Africa.
That's what's up.
Just virtually like connected with people from. So with that being said, I was like actually on a live open mic one morning, and a friend of mine from a poet from the UK was like, I said the line in the poem. She was like, oh my God, Ari, Ari, you have to make that a shirt, Ari. So I was like, I might do that. Like, B, I'm magic. And I just felt like it goes behind everything so well. Like, how did you do that? B, I'm magic. You know? So, and then Ancestral Drip came about as I've always wanted, it came from a piece that I did, and I always wanted to take two of the lines out of that piece, and Ancestral Drip was one. Every time someone hears it, they're asking, like, first time I did it at Slam, it was like, you need to put that on the shirt. Ancestral Drip? Like, that's some drip. Like, yeah, it is some drip. So
and it's golden.
And that's how we came up. That's how I came up with the idea. But it was definitely encouraged by some people around me, and I think it just speaks to the confidence of the person that wears it. Just give you a little extra, you know.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, I hear the drums.
Do you have any other new lines from pieces that you've written that you have coming out to put on shirts?
So right now I am sticking to those two because
it's working.
But I am
it's working.
Yes. But I am releasing the joggers for a limited time. So I will have the joggers available for a very limited time. A lot of this I am doing like myself. So I try to stay in my lane.
Oh, so what is your handle on Instagram and Facebook where people can go and look at your merchandise?
Yes. So you can go to my Instagram, ARRIELANE, Ari Lane, or you can visit my website, Ari, ARRIE, hyphen, that's a little dash for some of y'all, L.com. Okay. And you can see my available merch on the site. And if you have any questions, you can always message me personally on Instagram.
All right. So we're going to have to wrap up pretty soon, but I did promise them some live poetry. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Ari. Go ahead and do your thing. And then we're going to follow up with our ending quote, and we're going to close out. We're going to close out with Ari.
Cool beans. All right. I'm going to do this piece because it's a crowd favorite that no one wants me to retire. So I'm going to share my alphabet with you all. And it goes like this. If I could describe you with the alphabet, you would be always allowing ancestors anchored, anchoring, alive, allowed, awesome, astounding, allocating alabaster's box, breaking bounds, binding books before banging beats creating cryptic crystals, cultivating, conscious calibrating, collected, cool, calculation, debating, diverse, deep deity, dancing, double Dutch diva, distinguished debonair, defender, destiny's director, exuding excellence, extremely evident evidence, exceeding elements, enchantment's embodiment, effortless effervescence elevating, expected full force freight, failure's friction, faithful friend, fearless, ferocious, flying free, forever filled greatness, growing greater, goal getter, gigantic, glorious, godly. Gentle giants, great healer, healing, helping, hoping haters hurt. Having hope, hypocrites here, honest heart, hip-hop hipster, heavenly haven, hallelujah's holy hymn, pitting higher, infused in intentional ink, injected investments, inches into inheritance, implied incidents, intellectually intelligent, illustrious innovator, inclusive jubilance, jumping, justified, joyous kickstarter, keen, kind, knowledgeable leader, letting losing liars learn, leaving, leaping like levitating, literally levitating, learning lessons, loving long, laughing lots, lately more meaningful, maybe magic, moving mountains, miracle making, mysteries master, mixing motions, melodies martyr, marinating manifestation, magnificent, marvelous, mighty motivator, never neglecting neighbors, noteworthy niceness, nifty nourishing naturalist, naked, novel, open. Optimally operating optimist, often overstanding optics, oil, olive, pressed, pressured person, proven practically perfect, promising purpose, presence pulling pupils, pilfering, penetrating portals quickly, quiet quality, quantifying, quirky, quite ready, resilient, restorative, refreshing, radiating royalty, sweet scented symbol. Static stabilizing, silly stupendously slaying serpent sanctums, swift shooting star taking time to think thoughts that thoroughly tilt towards transformation, tremendous talents, truthful, trustworthy, understanding, underestimated unicorn, useful, unique, universal utensil, unforgettable, unbreakable, unfiltered, unbothered, utterly vibrant, vibrating volume is valiant, valorous, victorious vibrations, winning, winner, one, worthwhile, welcome ways, wager warrior, Xenodocio, X-Men, youthful, yielding you, zany, zazzy, zealous, alphabetically, you.
Girl! Okay, we don't clap. You know, when you hear stuff like that, you snap.
She made me go back, girl. I was over here like, yeah.
She took that alphabet and broke that down from A
You go.
to Z. All
You
motivational. Okay, if you don't record that, Ari,
I know.
I'm going to get you. I'm about to be on your head for real now. Like, you got to record that. Like,
That brought healing to my soul.
I mean, the engineer over here shaking his head like, yeah.
Like,
You gotta record that. That was amazing, you all. If you just tuned in, that was the Ari Lane reciting her rendition of the alphabet, which was completely 100% unequivocally motivational.
Cause B, she's magic.
All right. We're getting ready to wrap it up, so I want to end with our quote for tonight. And it simply says, step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. And that quote comes from Oprah Winfrey. What are you guys' thoughts on that quote?
Can you say it one more time?
Oh, yes. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create.
You want to go ahead or I can go?
I would just say history. History is my story. Because in history is whatever. If I write a book today, it's going to be history because tomorrow somebody else may read it. So I just say, to me, it means just move forward. Make your own story. You don't have to rewrite somebody else's story. Live your best life and be unapologetically you.
Absolutely. I think that as humans, we can become shackled to our past. So accountability is one thing, but then sometimes we just hold ourselves hostage there. So we'll allow our past to hold us hostage, and it doesn't leave room for us to move forward, to continue to grow. And so it's just step into the fullness of who you are. And if you can do that, you can only do that if you let go of what you were. Accept it because you did it. Accept that it was a part of how you got to where you are. And now that you have, make peace with it. Like I always say, make peace with whatever you've done.
Right.
Don't regret nothing. Make peace with it. You did it. It's done. It's over. Make peace with it and move on so you can move forward.
My thoughts on that, I agree with both of you. My cousin said that was absolutely awesome, your alphabet. She said she's praying for you. And in regards to the quote, your story is only your story. You are uniquely designed and created for a God-given purpose. One of the things Ari just said, she said, make peace with it. And so many of us are fearful to do just that. Make peace with whatever you've experienced, whatever you have gone through. Failure is a part of the process, you all. Don't be afraid to fail, because when you fail, the ultimate goal is to learn the lesson, but not give up. You may have to rework, we twerk, we twit, we whatever. Regroup.
Tweet.
We tweet, we twerk, we twit, whatever. But don't stop. Keep going. Tonight on Glory Glory, I shared songs of perseverance and determination. So our discussion that we're having tonight was just like right in line. And I'm just thankful, that God has given me this opportunity. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of your gifts and your talents. I say keep soaring. And my acronym that God gave me for SOAR is staying optimal above the riffraff.
Yes. Come on.
The riff to the raft. I want to start rapping with that.
So
the riff,
silly.
the rap.
I felt that.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that's how I felt it when God gave it to me. I said, so that's my reminder. My favorite animal is an eagle. And so
yes, because they do what?
There.
What does an eagle do?
Soar.
That's right.
Above.
They fly above the storm.
Beyond the clouds. So
above.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Fabric Life. I am your host, Miss Jennie B, with my co-host, Miss Cameron K, and our illustrious, wonderful guest tonight, Miss Ari Lane. Please catch her on all her social media handles. Go vote on Motown Museum's page. It's April 29th. Please go vote. We want her to win, y'all.
Yes.
We want her to win. All right. That is my time. Thank you. God bless. And good night.
Bye. Girl.
Hey, what's up? This your boy MD for the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. But check this out. If y'all have any independent clothing, get in contact with us. Hit us up, simplypodcastic@gmail.com. Hit us up on our Facebook page. Just get in contact with us. We want to promote you, help us help you, and we'll be a better group of people. All right? So, again, www.simplypodcastic.com. You can see all the video channels. Everybody who be on podcasting, you can see their shows right there. Also, you can check us out on Simply Podcasting or Podcasting on Facebook. Hit us up on our IG page, Simply Podcasting. We there for you. We right here. Homegrown, right in the D, baby. But we global. You know what I mean? We mobile global. You know what I mean? We global mobile, however you want to put it. We right here for you. Independent clothiers, get in contact with us. Hit us up. And we'll promote you. We'll even interview you, do a whole marketing plan with you. We down for you. We here. All right? Peace.
Since the morning I've been yawning, situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day's full of questions, there's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. What's the latest on the caucus? Who's running for top office and why? Tell me why. Raising taxes on the masses. Who is doing it the fastest? Who lied? Tell me who lied. There's so much on my mind, it just makes me want to vent sometimes. It's so much going on. I just hope you hear this song and you do what's right. It's just not about black and white, no, but it's about the human rights. Yes, it is. It's just not about you and me. Can it be? But it's about who we can call. Let's call Jennie B. Call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. Yeah. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. I'ma call you can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah. of life. The fabric of life.